Purely by accident, I've become Top Gear's official test pilot for extreme track cars. It wasn't meant to be this way. For example, Ollie Q should have been here today, but try as we might, we cannot prize him away from the manual gear shifter of the Aston Martin Valor.
Excuse me, I'm just gonna have a moment.
Jack Ricks could have stepped in, but his brain's still malfunctioning, having driven the Koenigsegg Chimera. So having recently driven the McLaren Solus GT and the Ford GT Mark IV, now I'm in Italy with this car, the Maserati MC Extrema. It's a limited edition 730 horsepower track car that channels the gorgeous and glorious old MC12, and it looks, well, just look at it, it's gorgeous. In other words, you won't find me complaining. Here we go again.
So yes, it's another race car you can't actually race, built for the super wealthy and freed from the constraints of, say, GT3 regulations. The MC Extrema costs just under £1 million and all 62 are already sold. It features the same carbon fibre tub as the MC20 road car, but everything else is radically modified for the track. New kinematics for the double wishbone suspension, 4-way adjustable Öhlins dampers, adjustable anti-roll bars, an FIA spec roll cage and fuel cell, centre-lock wheels and a racing braking system with cast iron discs. The Nettuno 3-litre twin-turbocharged V6 engine has also received a huge number of upgrades, including new intake, bigger turbochargers from Garrett's Motorsport division instead of the IHI items on the road car, a full Motorsport ECU, new exhaust system, and so it goes on. Maserati say it is the engine unleashed. It produces 720 horsepower and 538 foot-pounds of torque. The MC Extrema weighs around 1,300 kilos dry and produces over 1,000 kilos of downforce. The unique interior is pretty funky too, a proper departure from either road or race car, and it feels really special just to sit in this car. So let's see how it feels on the tight, technical Autodromo di Modena.
First thing I would say, the environment, just go slow, warm the tyres. And myself, I love the environment. Whenever someone says like a cockpit to me, it's hard not to cringe, isn't it? But I get what they've done. This doesn't have the like pure blood race car interior of the Ford GT, and I like what they've done surrounding the driver with this stuff. It's really cool and it feels different. Exciting. The steering is really lovely and light. You can definitely feel some of the road car in the engine, in that gravelly response that it has. Now we're on a small track, I might not get that much of the full aero load that this car can do. Oh man, it definitely flies. Rides the curves. It just mash the brakes and it will tolerate turning and brakes at the same time. So many slow corners here. Even so, you can definitely feel that user friendliness they were talking about. Oh, it was so rapid, lovely gear shift response, but it feels nice and predictable. They even start to feel it sliding under power. Feels different to the GT3 car in that respect. I'd say definitely more rotation and more playfulness. When they say it's going to be predictable, you worry that it might just be so safely set up that it just understeers everywhere. But this thing feels really agile and pointy. Just like the road car, there's natural balance to it.
I've just started to get to know the MC Extrema, and whilst I'm sensing some of the shared qualities with the road cars, the man who developed it has another benchmark large in his mind. Meet Andrea Bertolini, Maserati's test driver, the driving force behind this car, and a bloke who's won a few races in Maseratis over the years.
20 years ago, Maserati returned to top-level motorsport with the amazing MC12.
and promptly cleaned up in GT racing, basically. This man is Andrea Bertolini, who won 4 world titles in the MC12, which is sort of the inspiration for this car. So Andrea, thanks for talking to us. Tell us some of your memories of that MC12, what it was all about and what it was like to race in those fantastic days.
This car was just an amazing car, probably the most important car of my life, because I won 4 times, like you say. The World Championship on the GT1, yeah, was a special connection with the car.
So tell us about that glorious 6-litre V12, what it was like to have that strap behind you.
Mate, it was incredible just to feel the people around you, all the fans. I remember one time we was in Sebring, US. On the way to the grid, you know that normally you go slowly to save fuel. There was all the people really close to the circuit. They went, yeah, crazy about the car, about the noise of V12. But yeah, it was a strong competition at that time with Aston and Ferrari F50. Many car V12, yeah, was music, not was something more than a music.
Well, it was a great period, and now you are chief test driver at Maserati, and this is your baby. Totally different sort of car in some ways. We've got a small 3-litre V6 twin turbo engine, but how did you want to channel some of that MC12 feeling, balance and emotion into this car?
Yeah, the target with the Extrema from the beginning was to respect our DNA on motorsport, like with MC12. The MC12 was really strong car on the race pace in terms of car balance, and the Extrema is the same. So the MC12 was really predictable to drive. This is why we was always in every condition quite fast. This one is predictable. So all together with the people, we push hard to have the best car. You know, you have to enjoy to drive, not to be scared, because the power is a lot by Nettuno engine. But the car you really enjoy, you feel comfortable, and when you feel comfortable in the car, you can be fast.
Okay, so everything has changed. Bigger turbos for the engine, the aero balance. It's the real reimagining, I guess, of the MC20. But how proud are you of this thing? Are you happy with where you've ended up?
Yeah, I am really happy and proud, because at the beginning of the project, you know, all the guys involved, all our engineering, also Klaus for the interior, he tell me what you will like when you are in the car. So for me it was important to have something completely new, never see in the race car or in the track day car. And what I can say, yes, I am really proud, because this car is something new, and the feeling when you are at the wheel, you will see.
Oh, yeah.
It is something new, and the Extrema does pay homage to the glorious MC12. But it rather helps that it's based on something that's fundamentally pretty superb already.
Before we go any further, I wanted to have a quick dip into the MC20 road car, because I feel like it's had a bit of a bad rap. And I happen to love this car, and I think it's a great base for an extreme track car. And there's 2 reasons really. One is the engine, and the other is the chassis balance. The engine is this 3-litre V6, the Nettuno engine, and it goes against fashion. It doesn't have the hot V, it's got 2 big turbos hanging off the side of it. Doesn't have the power of some of the rivals, 296, 750, but the thing is so quick, and it's got this lovely Jekyll and Hyde character about it. You can drive this car every day, but it's got such an angry little motor. Loads of character, loads of grunt, and just a sort of angry brutality that's at odds with the look of it. And then there's the balance. The balance of this car, it is a little heavy, but you can just play tunes with the chassis. It slides so nicely, gives you so much confidence. It's just a really sweet thing to drive quickly. It's almost a supercar people don't think they want, but I think in reality they would love, because it's really quick, really accessible, and just hugely entertaining.
Okay, I just wanted to get that off my chest. The MC20 is underrated, a different sort of supercar, but full of character. On the road, it is superb. Anyway, back to the track, and the MC20 evolved to a whole new level.
Yeah, first impressions are good. It doesn't feel as overwhelmingly quick as the Ford. It feels, to sound strange, but more recreational somehow. But having said that, Andrea said this car can lap quicker than a GT3 car. It's a proper thing. Love the engine. Love the brake response. Can't believe how playful it feels.
This is where the MC Extrema differentiates itself from other track-only supercars I've tried. They are all amazingly intuitive, consistent and predictable, but the Maserati is more playful, slightly less locked down, at least on a slower track like this one.
Traction control and ABS, which are a huge help, but they don't seem to restrict you, they just power you. Yes, the engine is so angry. You can feel it lighting up the tyres. You never get that in a GT3 car. They're so restricted on power. Need more fast corners. Yeah, you can just light the thing up. I am nowhere near the brakes. I cannot even get the ABS to operate. There it is.
It's easy to get lost in the MC Extrema, and it's a typically strange left-field Maserati story. It celebrates the mighty MC12, but in place of a sonorous Ferrari V12, there's a snorting, super boosted turbo. It's hardcore and aero-focused, yet feels so adjustable on the throttle. It's mystifying but brilliant. Another weird turn on the wacky story of Maserati. What will they do next? Who knows, but that's kind of the point. Today though, the MC Extrema is pretty bloody fantastic. One man's tribute to his passion for one of the great GT racing cars, facilitated by Maserati in their MC20 supercar, and I have no doubt about to be enjoyed by 62 very lucky owners.